Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm ExxotikGaming. Hope you're all having a great day. So, I don't know how many of you all have heard of a game called Ready or Not before, but if you haven't, you probably should know about this game. This is arguably one of the most intense tactical first-person shooters that you can play right now on PC. And a lot of YouTubers that make videos on Escape from Tarkov, for instance, or Rainbow Six Siege really like Ready or Not because unlike games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, where you can pretty much run and gun and respawn indefinitely and there's really no impact of dying unless you're playing like a search and destroy game mode or something like that. In Ready or Not, if you die, it's game over. It's one of those games where you have to be very, very cautious, peek around corners, and have a really, really fast response time. Sort of like CSGO. Like, it's comparable to CSGO response time, and it's ridiculous. And a lot of people have been wanting a Ready or Not mobile game, and even though the official game isn't currently available for mobile devices, there are a couple of different developers that are trying to make the Ready or Not experience for mobile. One of them, for instance, is Project Breach. The developer recently released an online version of the game, and even though it has very, very low graphics, you're gonna have to trust me on this, this game is actually really solid. You can either play offline against some very, very difficult bots, or you can go online against other players, and since it has pretty bad graphics, it's actually going to run really well on low-end devices. However, we're not going to be talking about Project Breach in today's video. That might be for an upcoming video. I would like to show you a different game today, a game called Recurrence, and luck would have it, this game literally released today. April 21st, it's a brand new game on the Google Play Store, and it's setting out to be basically the better graphics version of Project Breach CQB. Now, obviously, this game is in a very, very early stage of development. You're going to find that throughout this video, so cut the developer some slack. This is literally version 1, okay? And obviously, as the months progress, you're going to get better and better updates. Cool thing about this game is they finally have online available. Unfortunately, since it's brand new, there aren't enough people online yet, so I can't go into co-op matches yet. I just wanted to very briefly show you guys some gameplay offline to kind of give you like a reference of what it's going to look like when you jump into this online. There's a variety of different maps that you can jump into, and before we actually do that, I just want to say you can customize your weapons, as you can see right here. There's a decent amount of weapons that you can choose between, and you can put different scopes, other attachments, stuff like that. There's also different customizations with your character and what types of grenades and flashbangs and stuff like that that you want. There's also full customization of your HUD layout and other stuff like that, which is probably pretty important to know. And yeah, this is currently what the game looks like. Weapon model looks pretty good. Graphics of the overall terrain could definitely be improved, and I'm sure that's what the developer is going to be working on in future updates. But so here we are, my friends. This is Recurrence. Now, I just want to say this is not a live commentary. I literally tried a live commentary for 3 hours. 3 hours, and the game was so difficult, I died every single time. As you'll start to notice here, the bots in this offline mode have ridiculous accuracy, and they can spot you from so far away. Like, I could barely even see these people, and they're already shooting at me. So there's been many, many times that I've been playing Recurrence, and I get shot by somebody that's literally like a single pixel on my screen. However, I've started to learn my lesson, and as you can see, I am taking enemies from very far away. And there are 15 enemies in this suburban house mission. Now, as you'll notice, I report deaths and I secure weapons, and that's just a way that I can get more points when I finish a mission. I don't think it's necessary, but I think it adds to the whole realism thing. It's like you're talking to this guy over the radio, and I don't know, you're basically reporting deaths. Yeah, so basically I secure that weapon once again, and I just wanted to show you this right here. I think this could be so freaking cool if in the future, fences like this, you could basically have destruction like you have in Battlefield Mobile, for instance, or had in Battlefield Mobile. Imagine being able to like shoot through a fence, and then there's a hole that appears, and then you can like shoot through that hole at somebody that wasn't really suspecting it. And it's just crazy, man. I gotta say, graphics-wise, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It could obviously be improved, but then again, this is literally a version 1.0. We have to cut the developer some slack. We haven't even gone inside the house yet, and there are lots of enemies on the outside, like this guy right here. who's trying. He tried, but I basically peek shotted him, and he didn't really stand a chance against me. However, I do have to say, like I said in the beginning of the video, these enemies do so much damage. Literally one single shot, and you could be down to 50% health if that enemy gets a headshot. Now, if they get a body shot, you're probably down at like 75% health or something like that. You can take a few body shots, especially if you have more armor, but there's a lot. There's a lot of power with all those enemies. Now, you can peek doors, as I did right there, or you could fully open them if you want to. Some of them are locked. Watch this awesome shot. Look at this reaction time. 1, 2, double tap. Bam. We don't waste bullets. We only use bullets when we need to. We get those nice, clean headshots, which I'm actually probably not going to do right here. Yeah, okay. I used an extra bullet. Big whoop. Who's freaking counting, you know? But we do have to count how many total kills we get. Oh, and then this was a tight one. This was a rough one. Look at this. I was getting a little bit too cocky. I ran out of bullets there, and then I reloaded, and I peeked for too long. I think, yeah, look at that. See, the bots are not stupid. They're pretty smart, and they can tell when their friend gets killed, for instance. They're going to be on high alert now. So, like, that second guy, he immediately knew when his friend died. He was, like, immediately turned right at me and started shooting me the second I was there. And, man, it is difficult. It is difficult to do a commentary like this. I wanted it to be a live commentary so badly, but I was just so frustrated. It took so freaking long before I could get a match recorded that actually I won. I won. And this is against bots. Just process this for a second. Imagine if you're going up against real players in multiplayer. Oh, by the way, I saw this. This is a toilet with a black seat and a white toilet. Who would do that? I have no idea. That's not very smart. Open up that thing. Nobody's in the tub room, which is a whole separate room. Not exactly sure about why that is, but whatever. And then there's never usually anybody in this room, but that would be the one time that I just didn't expect it, and there probably would be somebody there. But it's just such a tactical, cool mobile first-person shooter that is pretty slow-paced, and I like it because of that. You know, you have all these other games that are trying to have the tactical sprint, and you run and gun, and it's crazy. Like, imagine this game against... Can I get it? There we go. Shot him right through the railing of the fence. Imagine this game versus Combat Master Mobile, for instance. Like, complete polar opposites, but it's awesome. You always want to try and find enemies that are facing away from you because obviously they're not going to see you, and then they're going to not shoot at you and not be as much of a threat. But all the enemies are a threat in this game. Let's just be very, very clear about that. They are very, very powerful. I can just imagine, though, in multiplayer, in Recurrence, like, it's going to be so awesome when you have people all around the place just being very, very cautious, basically hard scoping around corners and then getting those headshots. It's going to be so difficult to do well because, like, everybody's going to be super, super accurate. I could just only imagine. It's going to be so much fun. So we've cleared out most of the first floor at this point in time. We're already over halfway through this gameplay, and there's a guy right there. Bad idea on my part to just open up the door right into an enemy. If that was multiplayer, 100% would have probably gotten shot right there because they would have been probably watching the door from inside the garage. They would have been camping. This is one of the places where the hostage would be, so you have to be very, very careful. I think if they're alerted, they'll just kill the hostage. So you have to be very, very careful, and you need to use something like a flashbang or something to, like, freak them out and then mess them up. There's always somebody usually at the top of the stairs like this. Look at me. Quick-shotting this guy. And then being an idiot, and then standing there, being a complete sitting duck. Oh my god, how is this the one match that I survived? I look completely clueless. Report that death, secure the weapon, get some more points here. 3 different doors that the enemies could be in, so what I do is I peek, I take out my flashbang, and I throw it right through the crack. That is what you should do if you think there's going to be a lot of enemies inside. So you do that, he can't see, make sure there's no hostage, then, well... shoot the guy, because he's just an enemy. He's not holding any hostage or anything like that. He's no use to us. We don't want him alive. Let's just say that. Sorry, that was a little bit dark, but you know what? We're literally the police trying to infiltrate a house and they have a hostage. So these aren't nice people. Let's take out our second and only other flashbang. Make sure that counts. Throw it right through the crack. Wait until it explodes. And there's the hostage. There's the hostage. They can't see. They're blinded. So I'm going to stand all the way behind him. Make sure I get the headshot so they're not going to pose much of a threat. If you shoot them from the front, then the hostage will die. So you need to go behind them, okay? Go behind them and shoot the guy like I did. And what I can do is I can arrest the hostage. And there we go. And then we can report him. Hostage is arrested. And at this point in time, we could end the mission if we really wanted to. I have a feeling at some points, enemies could be inside these closets, so you have to be very, very careful about that. But, yeah, there's the hostage. He's going to be brought back to home base. What we're going to do is we're going to just open up this final door and make sure it's completely clear. By the way, you can open doors with a shotgun. That's another thing that I should mention. And I wanted to try out this other grenade. It's a very weird grenade. It's like a gas grenade. Look at that. And it just makes my whole screen go wavy. I think if you don't have a gas mask, it's going to probably kill you. So you have to be not too close to that thing or else it's going to probably cause some damage. Don't think there was anybody around that corner there. I was just being sure, making sure I had the whole entire house completely clear. And hey, guess what? I completely succeeded with that mission. Mission was accomplished. We got an A rating, and yeah, that's basically sort of what Recurrence is like. Ready or not mobile. We're going to just jump into the shooting range here as we finish up this video here. As you can see, I'm kind of tired now because I've been doing live commentaries for so long. Yeah, it's a pretty stressful game, let's just say that. But hope you all did enjoy this video, and I hope you thought Ready or Not Mobile was really cool. I think it's a really, really cool game. One of the best mobile first-person shooters you could probably play right now, just because it's so different from other games. Obviously, I'm not stupid. Call of Duty Mobile and PUBG Mobile and all these other games are obviously better, but it's just such a unique, different game that I think it's worth talking about and worth trying. It is available for Android for sure. Not 100% sure for iOS. You can search it up on the iOS App Store if you want. But that's it. Hope you all did enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe for more content just like this, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.